just saw Monster at the New Zealand International Film Festival. It is directed by Hirokazu Kurita and it is a Japanese film. It's based on a mother confronting her son's teacher after she notices a change in behavior at home. So, James, what are your thoughts on this Japanese film?
Well, I've seen Hirokazu's other film, Shoplifters, and I really liked that one. So when I heard that this one, I've heard that it didn't quite live up to Shoplifters, and so my excitement wasn't really there. But I really liked this movie. I thought it was just really not wholesome. Wholesome's a really bad word. I love the way that it's told and love the way that it's written and kind of comes together at the end. It's shown from really multiple perspectives, all kind of showing the same thing, but giving you little doses of extra information coming through. And the way it lays it out is kind of ingenious in other ways, just because it kind of makes the story feel whole when, you're first watching that first act and it's like, what's going on? Like, there's so much like questions to be answered. And then it goes on to further in the movie, and you're kind of getting little bits of little bits of information coming to you at like different times, and it all starts to come together, and it culminates, in a really kind of touching way. Obviously, I think at the heart of the movie is, a friendship that's, I don't know how to pronounce it, or not pronounce, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it's a really nice friendship. I think that's kind of frowned upon, and kind of the reasons as to why characters are the way that they are in this movie. Because for the most part, I'm watching this and the characters I dislike almost all of them. I thought they're all bad people, but then when it shows you their perspective, you kind of see the full picture and you get the understanding, and it kind of writes character in a beautiful way, and that kind of captures the moral complexity that we are as human beings, where in our own perspective we feel like, or we look like we're doing the right thing, but to other people we're not always like that. And I think when it comes to Hirokazu's direction and intimacy with its characters, I think is when you get some really great films like this, because it's really exploring the human condition in a really intricate light. And so I obviously, I was blown away when, you get those like the perspectives and the answering questions and really good moments of character come through. Obviously, he culminates in such a quite a profound way. And with writing like this, when it's a non-linear approach, the editing has to be kind of top notch. It has to be accurate, because if you pick up what happens prior to it actually happening in the film, you don't want your audience in front of the writing knowing what's coming next. And I think this does a brilliant, like, it's edited in a way where the audience stays with the film. It doesn't, we can't predict what's coming, and we're not too behind where it's so convoluted and like what's going on. You're kind of right there, and I think that's a really good balance to make. Visually, I think it is really good. There's some good, interesting shots there. Natural lighting for a lot of it was really good as well. It's just got a really nice, authentic approach to it. And I think like the location is just really, it blends in nicely with that kind of directing style. You kind of got a good feel for the location and where they were and how the characters worked in that location. It's hard to articulate in a way without giving away too much of the story, but the characters explore different places and it all feels connected and in line with story clarity and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it all culminates quite well together like that. The score, mostly using trumpets and piano, I thought it's a really somber score, but I think it perfectly, just fits in line with what's happening. Doesn't really quite elevate any emotion, but it does just, kind of, it sets the mood, and it really kind of just allows you to feel and, understand with the characters and kind of what's happening. But yeah, what did you think of this?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed. I think it must be like a Asian sort of film when it comes to foreign films where I really enjoyed it. Like Parasite, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I thoroughly enjoyed this and Minari as well. I thought the way that it told its story, I wasn't expecting it to play out the way it did in terms of like the three different perspectives. So
Yeah.
that absolutely blew me away. And just the fact that how usually in movies nowadays we have the way we see it is pretty much three stories all leading up to one moment.
Yeah.
But really, it's the way that this is done is so creative. It's like it stops at a point and then we see another perspective at that point, past that point, it stops again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, to the end of the film.
Yeah.
I think the way the film ended is fantastic and it leaves you to pretty much decide on how it ended really.
Yeah.
I've given you my take off air and you've given me yours. Won't spoil it or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really, really good. I enjoy the writing and the dialogue because I could actually read it.
Yeah.
Because it's right there in front of me. I mean, there was some there was some like humor in it as well, but it wasn't like overbearing. It was just like little quips the mother did with her kid.
Yeah.
That, you know, typical mothers will do to their child and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it clearly showed that the bond that she had with her child, and then obviously you could see like when he starts changing his personality, she starts to become worried and goes to the school to confront it.
Yeah.
But little do we know that there's more behind everything, you know, and just the way everything played out was great. I have to say it's my second favorite Asian film because, you know, I've only seen a couple. But yeah, I think it really it was fantastic, and I hope it gets some Oscar nods come Oscar season.
Yeah.
You pretty much nailed it in terms of the visual sort of side, you know, that natural lighting and whatnot. It's quite hard to explain without getting into too much spoilerific somewhat details, but like when they're in the tunnel, it's literally just pitch black and can barely see anything.
Yeah.
And all that's lit is just their phones, and the camera just captures that light on that phone. So I think that was fantastic.
Yeah.
The score as well. I mean, you said that they used trumpets and brass bass sort of instruments in the piano.
Yeah.
There was a score in there where they sort of remixed like a doorbell tune. I've heard that tune before, and they like slow that tune right down and reworked it. And it fit in that scene.
Yeah.
It's one of the most annoying doorbells ever. But they made it work and made it fantastic. So yeah, if you're a fan of foreign film or you want to you know, dabble in it, go see this. I think this is a good starting point because it's quite easy to follow. It's got a great story and good performances as well.
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to go at the Oscars? Like, if you could pick a few categories, where do you think it will get its nominations?
Personally, I don't see it getting any Oscar nods. I think the door for foreign films to get in the Oscar conversation is very slim. Something like Parasite snuck in there, deservingly so. I do think this movie deserves it at this stage. I haven't seen everything, obviously, and we got to see how other films are. But at this point in time, I'd say something like screenplay. I think that would definitely deserve a nod. Directing. This is a movie where kind of all of it fits together, and without the director in it and their efforts here, I don't think it does work. So directing, I think, would deserve a nod. I don't know if I could do any performance-based ones just because I don't know who the main character is. I don't know the supporting. Like, they're all... There's a lot, and they all kind of have equal value in this. And they are all really good. I just don't know if they are Oscar-worthy themselves just because they don't really have so much to do in a way.
Let me ask you a different question then. So we always criticize children actors in Hollywood films and films in general. We're starting to see some good quality child actors come through in performances. How do you rate the two main child actors in this film? Mainly particular the son.
The son? Like a 9. I thought that both child actors were incredible. That it just felt so naturalistic. Like, it didn't ever feel like they were acting. It felt like the director was just kind of capturing them being kids. And I don't know, because I've watched Shoplifters as well. The director's really good with child actors. Like, you watch that movie and you're like, wow, they were really impressive. I think he just knows how to set up an environment where it allows them to thrive in an acting environment at that age. So as far as child actors go, it's some of the best work that is out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for scores, or is there any questions you want to ask me?
No, we've covered the main basis of this. Yeah. All I would stress to people is just get out and watch something like this. You know, go and support it. It is really good stuff. And, you know, if you do ever get to see it or you have seen it, you know, flick us a message. I think it's a movie that's interesting to talk about. So I'd love to hear other people's perspective on it. Yeah. But other than that, I'm ready for scores.
Cool. Out of 10, what would you rate it?
I would go an 8.3.
8.3.
Yep. What about you?
What about me? I would go a 7.8.
7.8.
7.8.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that is a monster. Go see it. And when you see it, head over to our social media on either TikTok, YouTube, or Twitter. Flick us a DM and let us know what you think of that ending and what your take is on the message in that final scene. And once you've done that, you can head over to moviegains.com and you can read a bunch of our work that we do. You know, we do box office content, 4K reviews, as well as normal reviews as well. And if you enjoyed listening to us, guess what? You can go to Spotify or wherever you pod from, type in Let's Be Real, and give us a listen there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on our monster review, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Peace.